Yes guys, welcome back to the Thornton 100 Motorcycles YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a little bit of a walk around video and introduce you to our latest build, which is our Carbon Edition Triumph Bobber. Now these bikes followed on from our SL bobbers, our superlight bobbers, of which we did 5 special edition models. This one, clues in the name, is Carbon Edition, so everything on this bike, as much as we can do anyway, is carbon fibre. So starting at the back, we've got the carbon fibre wheels. We also have the carbon fibre seat base, carbon fibre fuel tank, carbon fibre mudguard, and then carbon fibre front wheel as well. One of the main features on this bike that I absolutely love is this completely bespoke fuel tank. Now, standard fuel tank weighs around 5 odd kilos with all the bits on it as well. This weighs just over 2. So we've got about a 3 kilo saving there on the fuel tank. As well, as you can hear, it's super hollow, super thin and super lightweight as well. Now we developed this completely from scratch, scanned the fuel tank, scanned all of the fuel plate and everything that lives underneath it, and also scanned that rear mount as well. And then what we did is we created this beautiful shape. We deleted all of the flanges that sit on the bottom of the fuel tank as well, which the standard fuel tank is crimped together with. And then we also added in these beautiful swage lines in the top. What we also managed to do as well is line up all of the grain or weave in the carbon fibre to kind of sweep back in line with the frame here on this bike that goes all the way down to the swing arm. And then we also got this beautiful herringbone which goes through the top of the tank. It's also which follows on from the mudguard through the seat and then up all the way up underneath the seat there as well. So a really nice little detail there that probably not a lot of people will notice, and probably not a lot of people will know how much work just goes into that fuel tank. So we moved the fuel cap into the middle of the tank there as well. We've got this beautiful fuel tank cap which is all billet aluminium as well, and we made all the breather system in the bottom there so this tank doesn't pressurize itself when it gets hot, or when you're riding as well, it doesn't create a vacuum. So a really cool feature on this bike, so really happy with what that looks like. There's lots of things as well that go into this bike, such as all of the electronic systems. So we've got keyless RFID entry here as well, which is done through an eyelet on the seat. We have our keyless entry here, and then we have our ignition button up the top here as well. So all the motor gadget buttons, and then we have the tiny little motor gadget speedo here, which looks fantastic. So obviously all of the yokes on this bike are completely stripped back and completely hollowed out as well. So we've got a super light bottom yoke and then a completely custom top yoke just for this Carbon Edition here as well. So what we managed to do was sink the front brake reservoir into the top yoke here. So we don't have any of those ugly pots. So we have a small reservoir which sits in there again, breathes correctly and properly, and it allows us to account for wear in the front brake pads as well. So a really nice sleek looking cockpit here as well. So just really lovely little buttons as well that are just tucked away and keep this thing looking neat. Best of the best components on this bike. So we've got the Brembo RCS 19 quarter front master cylinder, and then we've got the GP4RX front calipers, which are finished in the nickel color as well, and that matches the rear Brembo brake caliper that we made for the bike as well. So at the front end here, we've obviously got these custom upside down forks as well, full Thornton 100 spec, linked to billet Thornton 100 mudguard arms, and then obviously the custom Thornton 100 carbon fibre mudguard as well. Michelin GP Power GP tyres, and they've also got the custom Thornton 100 tyre decals on the side there as well. Look absolutely fantastic. So we've got the exhausts, which are our high level pipes, completely titanium. So that's titanium bosses, titanium exhaust clamps, and titanium exhaust all the way through as well. So these weigh 1.7 kilograms each. Super lightweight exhaust, and then finished off with this beautiful billet aluminium end finisher here as well, and then all rubber mounted, so we make sure we don't have any stress or fracture issues in the future as well. So the engine It's hopped up slightly, camshaft, clutch, and a couple other little bits that we do inside the engine to make this bike run at around 120 horsepower at the rear wheel, which paired with a total bike weight of 192 kilos, we're nearly 60 kilos lighter than a standard Triumph bobble, which is absolutely mind-boggling and is very, very, very clear. As soon as you jump onto this bike, you notice just how fast it picks up. Power wheelies, which is just wild for a bobber as well as diving into the corners on those brakes. That front brake is one of the most powerful and nicest feeling brakes I've ever used. So it's really nice to be able to have the confidence in that front brake with that big wide front end to dive into a corner and then chuck it in as well. So super flickable with super high level, high ground clearance foot pegs here, which are all billet aluminium, along with full billet aluminium foot controls, billet aluminium side stand, which again just give that bike a real nice solid feel and obviously a much more premium look to it as well. Now, the whole frame was completely stripped and then acid dipped, blasted and Cerakoted in this beautiful satin black finish as well, which just gives it a bit more of a premium feel compared to the gloss frames, which are powder coated from the factory. So we've got the wide back end here, so 6-inch rear rim with a 190 rear tyre as well, side mount number plate, and then all the titanium axles that go through the bike. So we've got the titanium rear axle, titanium swing arm pivot, titanium front axle, titanium stem, and then also if you look closely, we have all of the titanium bolts which go throughout the whole bike, and including all of the engine bolts which have a little TH engraved in the top. So obviously we got a big gap in the bike here as well, which is normally where the air boxes would fit. So we've managed to poke the exhaust through here as well. I get so many comments about people saying I'm gonna melt tires, and it's just absolutely wild because we've done like 7 of these bikes now, and if we were melting tires, we would have had to stop very quickly. But absolutely no issues with that. By the time you mix that hot air coming out of here, which actually isn't even that hot, it's about 90 degrees Celsius, we've measured it at. By the time you mix that in with air coming through the bike, no issues whatsoever. So obviously there's that big gap there. So what we've done is we've covered up all of our electronics with a custom Thornton 100 3D printed cover there, and that covers the custom digital power management unit. So there's no old-fashioned analog relay banks here. Everything's done digitally, fully solid state. We've got a custom standalone link ECU, e-throttle modules as well to manage the billet domino electronic throttle, and as well we've got other little things like ignition amplifiers and a couple other bits under there to make this thing run really well. So obviously we've got the blacked out throttle bodies here as well, Cerakoted, which look really nice with the velocity stacks there as well. So that just allows this bike to breathe super well, and allows us to make that 120 horsepower at the rear wheel there as well. So there's so many little bits that go into this bike just to make it such a special and one-off build, and I'm so happy with how it rides and what it looks like as well. So I hope you guys like it too. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you like the colour. I absolutely love it. The customer loves it as well, but let me know if you had one, what colour you would paint your one as well. So please click that subscribe button, guys. It really does help us as well. And click like on this video as well, because that really helps us as well. And we'll catch you on the next one.